Tonight I want to talk just a few minutes. I'm not going to, hopefully not going to keep you long in the morning, probably 10:30, 11 o'clock. And
We appreciate that, Pat.
we know you got to work tomorrow. We're not going to keep you long, but if you feel that I'm long-winded, just say amen several times, and that might get my attention. And if you want me to keep preaching, you just keep saying. Don't say anything. I keep preaching until I can pull something dead out of something, pull something alive out of something dead. Amen. When Lazarus begins to speak, then everybody start listening. As long as Lazarus was in the grave, everybody was still mourning.
That's right.
Come on, somebody. That thing is still dead in your life, is still mourning over. But when God begins to resurrect that which is dead, people will begin to have joy and peace and gentleness, and people will come back to life. It's awesome to see that which is dead come back to life. And God wants to restore your marriage. God wants to restore your children. God wants to restore your finances. God wants to restore your relationships with brothers and sisters and family members. God is a God of reconciliation. He's restored the breach. I'm trying not to preach tonight, but I declare that preacher trying his best, Mama Kate. Oh, glory. The preacher just jump up on me. So I'm going to be like Sister Donna. Praise the Lord. And I'm telling you, that preacher trying to come up on me tonight. So y'all help me to try to keep me down tonight. I want to try to teach tonight. But praise the Lord. I'm going to try my best. But the battle of a lifetime, the biggest battle you ever face in your life, is the battlefield of the mind. Your mind, the battle of a lifetime, the battle that you will always battle. And it's not the most powerful tool that's in your life, is your mind. The most powerful thing that you possess within your whole being is the mind that has you. It seems like we don't have it. The enemy, he knows that he can't trap you by tying your hands up. He can't trap you by tying your feet up, but if he can entrap you in your mind, if he can cause your mind to stay focused on that in the past and that of yesterday, and somebody, I just heard in my spirit, somebody in their heart just said, why do you keep talking about the past? Because you ain't got over it yet. And I start talking about your future and your future, both of them. I start talking about both of them when you'll get over your past. Amen. Somebody say from the past, to the future. See, we need to get that movie Back to the Future.
Yes, sir.
It's amazing that they made 3 movies of it. Back to the Future 1, Back to the Future 2, and Back to the Future 3. I wonder why in the world they kept talking about going back to the future, because God wants you to walk in your future. Your past is history. Yesterday is over. What you did yesterday is over. You cannot, I hurt this, but it's over. All you got to do is confess your faults one to another. Confess your failures. I messed up. I made a boo-boo. I shot the moon. Whatever you done in your language. Yesterday is over. Today is a dawn of a new day, and it's time for you to walk in the newness of life. If you can take it,
That's right.
you can make it.
That's right.
Whatever life throws your way, if you can take it, you can make it. If you can take it, you can make it. Somebody say, if I can take it,
If I can take it,
I can make it.
I can make it.
If I can take it,
If I can take it.
I can make it. If I can take it,
If I can take it.
I can make it. When life throws you a curveball, when these things come your way and you can take it, my God, you'll be able to cross over and you'll be able to make it. If you can take those arrows, if you can take those darts, if you can take, I know, don't go to crying to me. I know it's hard. I'm with you. But I'm going to take it.
That's right.
Because I'm going to make it. Amen? You cannot go through another year. You cannot go through another day. You cannot go through another time period living where you live today. What we did this morning is over. God moved in a sovereign way. God moved in praise and worship. And I believe you know, people ask me all the time, well, Pastor, how was your message today? You don't ever ask the preacher.
The best ever.
How is his message? It's pure grace. What I got to do now is, well, find somebody that was in the congregation and ask them. Don't ask me, because it's the best message I ever preached. It was the most powerful message that I've ever given. So don't ever ask somebody who's doing something. Well, how'd it go today? Don't ever ask that. But we've been sick before. We made it. We was rejected, but we made it. We were abused, but we made it. We didn't have no money, but we made it. See, God brought us out of all those things, and if God would bring us out of those things that were so hard then, that we didn't think then, if we could just look back and look forward, just probably 5 minutes ago. If we can look and see what God brought us out of 5 minutes ago, we can say, my God is a mighty God, and if He brought us out of that thing. There were some things that almost killed you. There were some things that you didn't think you would ever breathe another breath. There were some people that broke your heart, and you never thought your heart would mend, but that broken heart, you made it. Those people leaving you, you made it. Those sneezes, you made it. God is bringing us through.
Oh, praise
I didn't think I'd come through the last bottle. I didn't think I'd come through the last abuse of drugs. But you made it. Why did you make it? Why is it so important to know that I made it? Because they say that in 21 days, 21 days. Somebody say you got 20 more days.
20 more days.
I used to tell Bob, if you come 7 times, see, he didn't know what 7 times was. 7 times was more than 21 days.
That's right.
And it's a known fact that is recorded in doctor's study that patterns can be broken in 21 days. If you can quit smoking for 21 days, you've come a long way, baby.
Amen.
Come on, somebody. 21 days.
That's true.
21 days of no drinking. 21 days of no drugs. And if you could overcome it, 21 days, you made it.
Amen.
Somebody leaves your life, breaks your heart, 21 days. Your heart began to restore itself,
That's true.
heal itself. 21 days. Just give God a chance. Give 21 days a chance. Before you can ever start and stand out in life, you must first fit in life. We want to stand out, we want to be ahead of the crowd, and we want to be what God has called us to be, but first you must fit in. And most people don't even fit in the program because they're off to the side. And the enemy always in your mind, the battlefield of your mind, he wants to get you off by yourself.
That's right.
Because if iron cannot sharpen iron, if you don't have no communication,
That's right.
it's a proven fact in the military. If I was a strategist in military, and if I was leading charge in military, I would not be the one carrying the radio.
Nope.
Because my snipers would be the first one to pick that one off, just carrying the command signals and calling on the signals and calling on command. And if I can cut that communication off, the enemy will play in your mind over and over and over and over and over if you get off by yourself. If you just walk away for a few days, if you just walk away for a few hours, if you just get away, the enemy knows that he's playing in your mind. If he could just cut you off from your life support, he's got you.
Yeah.
If he could just cut you off from your life support, I don't know how many people's walked away from this church. It started off, I was just going to stay gone a week and just see how it fared. And then 2 weeks came, and then 3 weeks came, and then 4 weeks came, and then 5 weeks came, and then months came, and then they try to come back, and you see them try to come back. And we've seen it with our own eyes, how to try and try as hard as they may to come back. They can't seem to fit in. They can't seem to stand out.
Come
they didn't fit in.
Come on. Come on, guys.
You cannot cut yourself off from the things of God. God has hooked you up with life support. God has put people around you to encourage you, to strengthen you. And a life support system is very vital. I was watching last night the last hours of Joan Rivers. And I was watching how at the end of that thing, her daughter was to cut the life support system. And she cut them at 12 o'clock at midnight. She went in and the doctors gave her legal rights to unplug that machine on her mother, because that was the lifeline to her living. Even though she was just a shell there, but it was an example. If you cut that life support system, you don't have long to live. And there's a lot of people that's walking around in life today that's cut their life support. They cut the lifeline, the very one that God would put you in touch with, Jonathan, for your David. Timothy with your Paul. Naomi with your Ruth.
That's right.
God has placed in your life people. It's a life support to you. It may be whether you're working with. It may be a pastor. It may be a friend. But God's got a life support system for you. And if you cut that life support off, it's just a matter of time before you drive to die. Become nothing. 21 days will change your life forever. I want to read some scripture tonight. I'm going to go right into scripture. Just because the clock ticks and ticks, and it may strike midnight tonight, just as it did for Joan Rivers. Just because the clock strikes 12, don't mean your life is going to change. Your life changes when you decide to change the way you think.
That's right. Come on.
When you get in your heart and in your mind that enough is enough, and when you can look at yourself in the mirror and see that reflected man, or see that reflected woman that's now just got wrinkles, that now that the hair is turning gray. Come on, somebody. Your facial expression is changing. You know you're changing because you can't do what you used to do.
That's right.
And as you get older and older and older, we cannot continue to look in the mirror as we used to look in the mirror.
Right.
Yeah, Maybelline ain't true.
That's right.
Maybelline ain't true. Just because you get your hair color, just because you get Botox and this tox and that tox, just because you get all those things, we spend millions of dollars on the outside. But joy is an inside.
Yes.
We spend millions and trillions of dollars for the weed. We spend millions of dollars for the Helen Keller or whatever, Maybelline and all this stuff. Mary Kay. We Helen Keller, that was the wrong one. We spend all this money. All this money. All this money. We go buy the nicest clothes, and every week we have to get a brand new pair of shoes. We look good. Got to get a toenails done. Got to get a fingernails done. Got to go to the gym. We spend more money on pills that comes through the mailbox. Gyms is open with closed memberships. They're open, but they're closed memberships. We do all these things in life. There's no peace on the inside. But we look good, don't we? Oh, we're the prettiest thing. We don't want to age. It's amazing how women wants to be when they're 50, 60, 70 years old. They still want to be 15. You know why? You know why? They don't have no peace.
That's right.
They don't have no joy with age. Because I'll be honest with you. I look in the mirror and as I'm aging every day and I see my hair turning gray. I see wrinkles come. I see age spots come on my body. I see my knees and my elbows and my joints don't want to do what they used to do. I see me getting up in the bed and it's harder to get up every morning. And you can fool yourself if you want to. I had somebody at the funeral home the other night when I did Brother John's mother's funeral. He come up to me and he said, well, I ain't going to age. He said, I'm going to always look this young. I said, I tell you what you do. You get my phone number from Joshua and you call me on FaceTime in 10 years.
That's right.
And let's see if you don't age. Don't deceive yourself.
That's right.
Age is prevalent to all of us.
Yeah.
But I can tell you one thing. We must age with beauty.
That's right.
We must age with wisdom. Wisdom is justified. But the Bible said, get of all these things, Solomon told his son, he said, get wisdom, but get the understanding of the wisdom. Mm-hmm. We can know it all, but yet we have no peace. It's amazing to me that people that knows it all, they don't want to hear nothing that anybody's got to say. But it's the least amount of people. It's the least person that you would ever expect to tell you something that would change your life. A small child can come up to you and say something to you and rock your world.
Yes, sir.
And change your whole life.
Yes, sir.
When you knew more than that child ever would even imagine knowing. But they said something in your heart and in your mind that clicked, caused you to change. Because change comes from the inside, not the outside. Watch what Paul said in the church of Rome when he was speaking in Romans chapter 12, verse 1 and 2. I beseech you, therefore, my brethren, by the mercies of God, that you will first present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is each one of us' reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world. When I read this, be not conformed to this world, I said, Lord, what kind of confirmation or conformation does this world give us? And I look around at this world and I see how people think. They think about themselves. The world's a selfish place. The world is selfish. The people in the world are selfish. If you don't believe they're selfish, you get in their way if they don't run over.
Amen. Come on.
If you don't believe they're selfish, you see if they don't climb the corporate ladder faster than you will. If you don't see if they're selfish, see if they won't mar your character to get ahead of you. If you don't see if they're selfish, you see if they don't inflict you and stab a knife in your neck and in your back and walk away from you. The world is selfish. Be not conformed. Be not selfish to this world. But be ye transformed. 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 Thought about the word transform. It means reform. Transform. Change the way you think of the world and be transformed by the renewing of your mind. He didn't say renew your heart.
Nope.
He didn't say renew your speech.
Nope.
He said renew your mind. Think about what you're thinking about.
Amen.
Now that's powerful right there. I can quit preaching right there. You won't preaching, that's preaching. Think about what you're thinking about. What are you thinking about on a daily basis? When you wake up in the morning, that thing is pressing the closest to your heart. How many times did it transpire, and how many times did it change in the middle of the night while you were sleeping? And then when you woke up in the morning, how many different ways did you see that situation in which you saw it the first time?
Come on.
And how many lies has been spoken in your head about it? And how many fleshly thoughts and fleshly desires that you had about your situation when it was yesterday?
Come on.
What good is yesterday going to do? What good is what your daddy did to you years ago and how he was not there for you? And your mama was not there for you, and your wife, and your husband, and your children. What good is it for you to keep going back and thinking about what they did or what they didn't do?
That's right. Come on.
And how many times did the story change in your mind? And then when you told it to somebody else, because you wanted to find out what they had to say about it, and they changed it themselves. And then now all of a sudden you got 100 different ideas, Grandma, of what went on in your mind 100 years ago. 100 different ways, by 100 different people. And it didn't even matter one bit. And now it's got you stuck in a rut. And all you want to do is act out, and all you want to do is inflict pain. So instead of inflicting pain on others, I inflict pain on myself.
Come on.
Because when I inflict pain on myself, the enemy knows the easiest way to touch others is when you inflict pain on yourself, because those others that's around you, they love you. And when you hurt, the enemy's got a decisive plan
Yes, sir.
how to destroy us. He knows exactly how to get us. He knows where our weakness is. Superman, he knows what your kryptonite is.
Yes.
He's been in your toy box before you have.
Yeah, he knows.
Every one of us here tonight has toys.
Help us, Lord.
Every one of us in here has toys tonight, and the boys with the most toys wins. The enemy would take that toy that you love the most. It might be anger. It may be frustration. It might be wrath. It might be jealousy. But he takes that toy that you play with the most, and he'll cause that toy to be the very part of you. He will cause that toy to grow in your mind. And you'll have so much wrath. It started off just anger to start with because they left. Your dad wasn't there, your mom wasn't there, daddy did this, daddy did. See, here's the thing. You got to quit talking about what they did.
That's right.
And you got to take ownership of what you've done.
That's right. Amen. Come on.
What have you done in your life?
Come on.
What have you done? What have you done first to fix the problem? And then what have you done second to help others fix their problem?
That's right.
Because tonight I want to tell you something. You're a problem solver.
Yes, sir. Amen.
Good God of mercy. They're going to come to you for the answers. Why do you think they pull it on you? Why do you think they are always on you? You're like a mama duck walking around, a bunch of little ducklings following. Why do you think people's always followed you? Because you're problems.
That's right.
You have the answer. But how in the world can we give others answers when we ourselves are fighting to survive with a history that's behind us? Charlottesville, Virginia. We just got a massive, crazy mess over there in Charlottesville, all because of history. People losing their life over a statue. And I'm like, my God, what in the world is wrong with us? And the Lord says, that's what's wrong with people. They're killing each other over history. Something as dumb as a statue, people are losing their life over. Something as dumb as the things that you know how bad it hurt. No, and you're not going to inflict me with your hurt either.
Right.
Because I'm trying my best to get over mine. I sure don't need yours. Come on, somebody. I don't need you to inflict me on your hurt. I'm trying to get rid of mine.
Right.
Don't bring me back to my past.
That's right.
I'm looking for my future.
Yes, sir.
Somebody say back to the future.
Back to you.
Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove, watch this, transformation will prove that which is good.
Yes.
Right.
God has a purpose for you, and it's good. When He made man, He said, it is good. And then He looked at man, and then He says, well, it is good, but it's not good for man to be all by himself.
That's right.
Now, I'm wondering why God said it's not good for man to be all by himself. Well, I believe I know the answer. Now, I know procreation. I know that God wanted man to recreate himself in the earth because He said subdue, multiply, and have dominion. But I also believe that He gave man, are you ready for this? A life support system.
Come on.
Because He knew that the man needed somebody to help him
That's right.
get over his situation
Come on, sir.
and bring life to it. And that's what your spouse is supposed to do to you. Your spouse is supposed to bring life to you. Come on, somebody.
That's right.
The one that you made covenant with
That's right.
is supposed to be a life support system to you. And then your friends and family and pastors, those that's close to you, are supposed to be a life support system to you. So God can move through you. And I appreciate you coming tonight. I appreciate any time you come, because I in the world cannot be a shepherd without you.
Amen.
So thank you for coming. Thank you for allowing me to be a shepherd in your life. But I pray that I don't come and you come and get your ears tickled.
That's right.
Because guess what? You get your ears tickled, that will get you in trouble.
Yes, sir.
I need to talk facts to you.
Yes, sir.
I need to talk real to you.
Yes, sir.
I need to speak to you right where you are.
Yes, sir.
The situation that you're in right now, you can get out of it
That's right.
when you change the way you think.
That's right.
If you metanoia, if you change the way you think, if you quit thinking about what you did to get into it, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect something different.
That's right.
You cannot do it. It will not happen. It does not work. There has to be a difference. There has to be a shift. There has to be a move. I'm trying not to preach, but this is sneaking up on me. You have to move in out of an area to move into an area. You have to have a different idea to get another idea. You have to get out of something so you can get into something. You have to move from to move to. And if it means moving away from people, you have to move away from people. Not everybody says I love you means I love you.
And that's
Most people that said I love you to me at a distance, they're the one that hurt me the most. I love you goes beyond words.
That's right.
I love you as deeds. I love you as not walking away. I love you as standing firm and standing fast, no matter how hot the fire gets, no matter how bad it looks, no matter how bad it smells, no matter how hard it is. I love you means I'm going to stay with you through thick and thin. I'll never leave you nor forsake you, even till the end of time. That's God's I love you.
That's right. Come on.
God ain't going to leave you in your situation. I don't care where you are. I don't care how low you got, Joseph. God wants you to get out of the pit and get into the palace. It's time for you to move you to move in.
Amen.
Because you got a mass of people that's coming and wanting you to feed them, Joseph. They're waiting for you to feed them.
That's right. Come on, fellas.
God gave you a coat of many colors the time you was born.
Yeah.
God gave you a covenant when you was born.
Yeah.
God didn't love Joseph the more than he loved you. Jesus wanted him in the picture when Joseph was around.
Yeah. He said at least. Come on.
Jesus didn't die for Joseph.
Yeah.
Jesus died for you. Joseph, all he was a picture of Jesus. When Jesus went through the pit to go to the palace, Joseph, his problem was he told people his dreams, his admiration, his desires. You can't tell everything, you know.
That's right.
You can't tell everything to know for the ones that's closest to you, because you better watch out whose head you put your lap into,
That's right.
Samson. You can't just lay your head down just anywhere, Delilah. Next thing you'll know, every gift that you have will be stolen and ripped from you because you trusted somebody that was closest to you. It was a trick from the enemy from your past. Samson's problem was not women. Samson's problem was defiance of his father.
Yes, sir.
Samson's problem was rebellion.
That's right.
Samson's problem was his dad. His dad told him not to go down and marry something outside of the camp.
That's right.
Yeah.
Samson's whole desire was on the outside of what his father told him where his miracle was.
Yeah. And it was God. Come on.
Samson disobeyed the orders of the ones that God put closest to him. It's a terrible shame when God sends you a man, when God sends you a woman to bring you out, and you rebel against it anyway.
Come on.
It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing in the hands of God. I don't want to be where that person is who walks away from the very hand that God placed in your life to help you change.
Yeah.
And you walk away from it cut and dry.
Yeah.
How can you just walk away from God?
Yeah. Come on.
I don't know. I'm asking you because we all been there.
Yeah.
We all walked away from
That's
it.
right.
For all have sinned and come short of His glory.
Yeah.
Come on, somebody. For all have walked away from it, but now we know better.
Yeah.
We didn't know better in the past, but now we know.
We know better.
And we're not going to walk any longer. Be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is good and what is acceptable to God and what is the perfect will of God. See, God has an acceptable will that He's accepted, and He has a perfect will. God's perfect will for you is, watch this, and God's acceptable will for you. You ready for this? Change the way you think. It's all about the mind. The battle is the mind. The battlefield that you're going through is not your spouse.
Amen.
See, the devil likes to trick you, trap you, and tell you, well, it's him, or it's her, or it's them.
Right.
But it might be him. When are we going to let bygones be bygones? When are we going to go to God and say, Lord, I forgive him
Amen.
who has hurt,
That's right.
who has wronged me?
Come on.
There's not a single one of us in here tonight that's not been wrong. There's not a single one of us in here tonight that's not been accused wrongfully. There's not a single one of us tonight that's not been hurt.
That's right.
I've been hurt all my life. All my life I've been rejected from the time I was born. I had a dream the other night, and I was sharing with my dad. I had all the coaches around me that coached me in ball. And to be honest with you, I don't normally say this, but I was a great ball player. But nobody gave me the opportunity to play ball because of my name. Because I didn't have a Smith name. I didn't have a Jones name that had money and acclimates and well known in society. And I had all the coaches around me that I saw that coached me in ball, that was coaches on other teams, and there was a whole group of men around me. And I was standing amongst them all, and I was doing just like this, I was like a superhero. And I looked at every one of them, and I said to every one of them, and I've never said this, and this was in my dream, I'm as good a ball player as you've ever seen in your life. You did not give me the opportunity to prove myself. That hurts. But it didn't confine me. That hurts. Rejection hurts. But it didn't stop. Oh, I did drugs, I did alcohol, I did women, but it didn't stop.
That's right.
Don't look at me where I am and think that's what my future is.
That's right.
Because I've come out of this.
That's right.
And I'm coming out of this. And I will continue to come out of this. It didn't stop me. It stopped me for a moment. But I smelt greater. I smelt something that was greater than where I was. And I know I got a long nose. It was drawing me to something greater. Come on, somebody. It was pushing me to something that was greater than who I was then. Because if I'd have stayed there, it would have confined me. I would still be back there trapped in a little boy's mind, playing ball that everybody rejected, holding a glove, catching the ball in one hand and throwing it in one hand and catching it. He loves me. I can play. I can't play. I can play. Just reminiscing over and over and over in my mind. Rewind. 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 The best thing you can do is hit the eraser. Erase all that. And you know I got healed the other night in my dream. I woke up, Brother Bobby, and I felt like the greatest ball player. Babe Ruth didn't have nothing. Come on, somebody. I ain't never played on TV. Come on, somebody. I never played college ball. I didn't even play high school ball long. Because I quit. Because they wouldn't play me. Because I refused to continue to settle the bench of life when I had something better. Come on, somebody. I refused to sit there and fit in. But God says if you just wait on me,
Go ahead.
I'll cause you to stand out. Come on, somebody. I'll cause you to stand out. Now on the things in the scope of the principality of preaching the gospel. Nobody knows who I am. But look at the lives that's been changed. Look at the miracles that we have seen. Oh, I can get down tonight and say everybody walked away and I don't have anything. And I'm just a miserable man. Job looked for God and said, where is God in the midst of all of this? Where's God when my family died? Where's God when my wife walked away? Where's God when my house was broken down? Is God anywhere? I can't seem to find him. And Job said, nevertheless, when he's tried me, I shall come forth. Though he slay me, yet will I trust him. Job had a different mindset.
Yes, sir.
Job had a different mindset than everybody else. Job's own brethren, Job's own friends come to his house and consoled with him and wiped the sweat off his brow and said, oh Job, we feel so sorry for you. What did you do? What was your sin? It's amazing to me that everybody around you wants to impute your sins on you, but God.
That's true.
Everybody around you wants to call you who you are, and they want to identify you in your past. They need to look over in the future and see what God has called me before the foundation. I called you out. Come on, somebody. I called you to be a prophet to the nation. If God's called me to be a prophet to the nation, guess what? Buy me a passport. I'm heading to the nation. I've ordained you to tie it up, root it up. Told Brother Dale that me and him's got to make a trip to a church. I got a church that I want to go to and just see what's going on. Because who knows what might go on. See, God's wanting to do something in our lives. We always want to fix everybody else. But we don't want to fix ourselves. Because we think buying things is going to fix us. We think unlimited finance is going to, if I won the lottery. Why do you think so many people play the lottery? They're trying to fix a problem with money. And they're not fixing anything. Because money will not fix nothing. Now if you ain't got none, it ain't good. Now it may not fix nothing. Sometimes it helps. Money ain't fix nothing. Just because a man's got a nice house, buying a new house is not going to fix your life. Buying a new car, oh, I just want a new wife. I think that'll fix it all if we just had a new wife. It's not going to fix it. Because joy is an inside job. And watch this in close. What's the next scripture? In Romans 15:1. We then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak. Now this is the renewing of your mind. Once your mind is renewed, we're to bear the infirmities of the weak.
Yes.
How in the world can we carry somebody else's burdens when we can't even fix our own? We, when we are strong, ought we not to bear the infirmities of the weak? And we are not to please ourselves. Let me tell you something. When you have a renewed mind, you won't have to try to please yourself. Boy, I look good in this garment. Boy, if I could get me a new skirt, new pair of shoes. If I could change my haircut. If I could just get my eyeliner, plug my eyebrows, give me some Botox, bigger lips. If I could lose my hips. If I could go to the gym, I'd feel better. Feeling better is not exercise. Feeling better is when you renew your mind. When you wake up refreshed and renewed, then you want to exercise. And I'm not telling you to close your membership down. Because you're the temple of God. I'm not telling you not to do that. But I'm telling you when your mind is renewed, you look at yourself in a different way. Why do so many people want to change their appearance? And then the Lord dealt with me and He said, because they don't know that when they look in the mirror, they see me. They don't know that. If they saw me, then they say, you're beautiful. And not to please ourselves. Let every one of us not please ourselves, but let us begin to please our neighbor. For our neighbor's edification. Let's love him. Let's edify him. Let's build him up. For even Christ pleased not himself, but as it is written, the reproaches of them that reproach thee fell on me. For whosoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the Scriptures, seeing those men and seeing those women go through the things they went through, that we might have to.
Yes, sir.
See, the whole Bible is written for you for hope.
Yes.
As you read those other men and how they overcome.
Yes.
You think you have problems?
I do.
Job has some serious, massive problems. Job was the only righteous man in the earth.
Yes.
God uncovered him.
Yes.
Now let me tell you something, baby. Let me tell you something, sugar. You really think you had problems? When God unleashed hell on Job? The Bible says that God snatched the cover off Job and hell was released on Job.
Yes.
The devil himself. Devil ain't never been in your house. You ain't big enough for
I
it.
ain't seen him.
Come on, somebody. But Job had the devil after him. And you crying and mourning in your trouble?
Oh, it hit?
He lost everything he had. He lost all his finances. Servant come out in the field and told him, Job, the house fell in. That's terrible. No, Job, that ain't all. The children was in the house.
Yeah, dude.
Everything you got, Job, is gone. Job's wife said, why don't you curse God and die? God ain't. So what did Job do? He stripped himself.
Yeah.
As he stripped himself, the devil began to strip him.
Yeah.
Boils began to come up on his whole body and his flesh. Job was in so much excruciating pain that he would take a pot and break it and begin to scrape the meat just to get relief off his body. You think you've been through hell? You don't know what hell is. Quit crying over your problems. Job did cry. And then just put icing on the cake. Here comes Job's friend.
That's right.
So, hey Job, what did you do wrong? You must have committed some very, very bad sins. Now who is Job going to return to? His wife has left him.
Yeah.
His children, the patterns of who he was are dead. Everything that looked like Job is gone. He can't return back to the house. He grew up here and he built with his hands, with his wife. Now as he looks at his frail body, and it begins to turn and deteriorate into sinful flesh that he had not committed. He began to scrape himself and his friends. Of all the people in the world that you thought would have helped him. I can understand the wife, I can understand the husband. But his friends turned. Job, in sackcloth and ashes, in the midnight hour when everything was dark, misty and musky, dreary, said, "Where are you, God? Where are you?" Perhaps you said that tonight. Where are you, God? I need you. I tell you where he is. He's within you.
That's right.
This is what he says. I'm your ever-present help in the time of need. And in your darkest hour that you think that I can't be found, that's when I'm going to show up greater than you've ever seen. Because I'm your ever-present help in the time of need. Call on the Lord that he may be found. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Why? For thou art with me. Thy rod, thy word, and the staff has come. Where is he in the time of need? Where is he in the process? Well, clearly he's not here because you hadn't let him come here. They're still talking stupid. Most of people's troubles, I'm closing right here. Most of people's troubles in life come from the patterns of their mother and their father. When we can get over that, we can step into something else. Because your mama and your daddy, as good as they were, set traps and snares without even knowing. They didn't just wake up and talk about, I'm going to try to trap little Johnny off, I want to kill him. They loved you. But out of their ignorance and out of their pain and out of their parents, when will the generation change? When will you say to your children, enough is enough? What mom and daddy did come down to the limits is not going to happen any longer. Can you not see that your children are an exact pattern of who you are? Exact pattern. You say this one's doing that and that one's doing this. Can you not see that you've done the very same thing?
Yes, sir.
Can you not see that? Has the devil so deceived us that we cannot see that we're walking and talking just like they are? I want to be just like you, Dad. I want to be just like you. Can you not see it? When will it be broken? Not with a physical mouth, but the five senses of a man. And he changes every aspect of his life. Being careful not to follow the footsteps of his father and mother. But take out on the journey of a lifetime and carve out a path, a new direction. for the next generation. A new path, to carve out a new path, to fight off animals and vicious things, and to be able to go through things, being able to carry things, to carve out a new path. I know it's hard. I know it's late, but we got to keep on working. We got to keep on cutting. We got to keep on going through, because guess what? There's another generation that'll be able to rest in it. They won't have to work as hard as we did. David fought for 40 years, and he killed all his giants, and his son Solomon rested for 40 years. Never was a battle animal. You know why? Because Solomon could sit down and speak Proverbs. Solomon could sit down and judge justly. Solomon could sit down and speak to the people. You know why people ain't getting healed? You know why people ain't getting delivered? You know why it's so hard for the fivefold ministry in the church? Because the fivefold hadn't cut a path out. The fivefold ministry hadn't worked diligently day and night, hearing the cries of the people, trying to find the answers. We went to theology and put our turnaround collars on so we could get a paycheck. And at the end of this thing, we could get a 401k. So when we turn 65, we could retire. My God, how in the world can you retire? How in the world can you retire when God called you into the ministry?
That's right.
This is something different than a job.
Yes, sir.
This is a lifestyle.
Yes, sir.
Before the foundation, God knew. I had to look at the camera. I want every pastor to hear me. You cannot retire. How dare you retire? How dare you slap God in the face with retirement plans? Where are you going to retire to? When people are still crying, when people are still hurting, and you have the answers. I didn't go through what I went through just to give it up. Oh, somebody done somebody wrong. So I'm not going to get trapped and snared over something stupid when I've been spent a lifetime of pure hell going through to get what I got right now. And I ain't got much, but I can tell you one thing. It came with a high price.
That's right.
And I refuse to give it up for a nickel and a song and a dance.
That's right.
Amen.
People are crying. People are hurting. People need the path carved out. Why can't we win the next generation? It's because we hadn't carved the path for
Yes,
them.
sir.
They have to go through the same struggles we went through.
You on it?
They have to go through the same things we're going through.
Yeah, you on it?
Same demons that we have, they have.
Yes, sir.
You on it?
You got a demon of anger, your children's going to have a demon of anger.
Yes, sir.
Because you throw pots and pans at mama, she scraped you and cut you and snared at you. And guess what? Your children going to be just like it. Don't be dismayed when they get locked up one day and you say, I don't know what happened. What happened to little Johnny? Why is he in jail? Why is his whole life? Why is he incarcerated? Why is his whole life a wreck now? Well, you ready. You ready. Is this okay?
Yes, sir.
Is this true?
Yes.
Can you not see? Can you not open your eyes and physically see what the last generation done to us? Dale was talking about the fathers and the grandfathers. We got a generation that don't even know who grandfather is. Well, the fathers of this generation has passed off the scene. They don't know who grandpa is. Because grandpa died early. It's hard to be a man. It's hard to be a man. The enemy wants to kill the man. When Jesus was born, the enemy wanted to kill all the males. And when Moses was born, the enemy wanted to kill all the males. And this generation, Satan wants to kill all the males. And he don't want to take you off this earth because Satan don't care if you go to heaven or hell. I can't stand preachers getting up in the congregation talking about Satan's trying to build his kingdom. He don't give one hill of beans about his kingdom. He wants to mess you up in the earth so you can mess as many people up as you come in contact with. That's what he wants to do. And if I was in charge too, I'd do the same thing. I'd take one man and destroy 100 men instead of taking one man off.
That's right.
Put something in his heart that he can't get over. And he'll destroy a whole generation.
That's true.
Whole generation.
Yes, come on.
Whole generation. I want to tell you something tonight. The assignment is the sheets is off.
Amen.
The bed is too short.
Come on.
We can't keep laying in the same
That's
bed.
right.
So you need to change the covers.
Come
You
on.
need to wash your sheets out. You got enough nasty stains on your sheets from
Come
the
on.
past.
Come on.
It's time to get some new sheet covers.
Yes, sir.
Come on, somebody. Some bed brothers. You don't think I knew about this stuff. I don't know much about it. That's as far as it will go. It's time to take the sheets off and change your pillowcases.
Yes,
The
sir.
saliva of the past that comes out your mouth as you dream about your past is over. The nightmares and the torments of your past is over.
Come on.
God's wanting to show you dreams and visions of your future. And it's time to rise and shine, my love, for the light of His glory has come upon you today. Wake up, sunshine. It's a new day. It's a new life. It's a new beginning. You ain't dead yet. You ain't died. You're just living. And it's time to start. Amen.
Amen.
Praise God.
Praise God.
I'm finished.